sun's fierce light, a figure stands tall in the dead of night. Shadows crawl, but he doesn't sway, a sentinel guarding the break of day. Words like fire burn through the air, a defender of dreams and the world's despair. Facing storms with an unyielding grin, the fight for truth always starts within. Stand tall, golden hair in the wind. The tides may rise, but we won't give in. Through the chaos, a beacon so bright, leading us all to the edge of the fight. The world quakes as the battle ignites. Through the smoke, he's a vision of might. Foes gather aiming from every side, but he moves with purpose and endless pride. Try to break him with venom and lies, but he soared like an eagle, piercing the skies. A symbol of hope when the night is long, a melody rising, a defiant song. Stand tall, golden hair in the wind. The tides may rise, but we won't give in. Through the chaos, a beacon so bright, leading us all to the edge of the fight.
Good evening, America. Unless you're watching from California, then maybe not so good. Just kidding. Sort of, it's your favorite president, some say the best ever. And tonight, I've got a few things to say. So grab your popcorn, turn off the fake news, and let's talk about what's really going on. It's going to be good, really good.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Well, first off, greetings to Cindy Rose, who says she survived 2 violent shootings in the past week in California, in Sacramento. Sacramento, dangerous place, the capital of California. I'm glad you're still with us. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome to all the Neanderthals, the canines, the right-wing podcasters, and all you car guards out there, all those South African car guards who are coming over here to do coding, genetic splicing, engineering, agronomy. Thank you so much for bringing your car guard skills, which we don't need. And what's on my face? That's something there. And all of your other skills. Thank you for joining us, folks. Welcome back to the program. This is Chris live in Central Pennsylvania. So I saw somebody say, I wonder how long before somebody asks questions, Chris, today. Well, I'm going to mix things up a little bit here just to confuse everybody, okay? Just confuse everybody, okay? So do you like that Golden Hair Warrior song? It's pretty cool, huh? Okay, so I'm going to cover something here. Then I'm going to greet folks in the chat. And then I'm going to actually do the news kind of in an interrupted, broken fashion today, just because we've got some stuff going on here. So one of my mods put this together, and I pretty much agree with all these rules. So a lot of people are angry because they've been getting deleted from the Colonel's Cafe Clutch. Well, it's the Colonel's Cafe Clutch, not the Colonel's Refugee group. So you're breaking rules, and if you're unfamiliar with the rules, I understand that. So we're going to make rules available to you right here. And this is the image, okay? So let me get that up there, and I'm going to read through these rules. All right, so group rules. If you are in a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group that belongs to me, you must treat each other with respect. Everyone comes from different background, different ethnic groups, different religions. No one is better than anyone else. No unnecessary swearing. Everyone, is going through personal challenges, and some things are okay, some things aren't. We all get frustrated in private situations, but let's not use the group to take out your frustrations, all right? And we're all adults. You should act accordingly. No racism. All races will be welcome in the group. Religious tolerance of all religions must be exercised. No marketing and no begging or asking for help. The groups are not for people to beg. That turns people off. If you need help, then there are other ways to go about that. No contacting each other privately without their permission. That one I'm not totally sold on. And if possible, post in English. That's a lot of people don't speak Afrikaans, and almost everybody speaks English. That's why people are asking you to do that. Trolls and bad behavior will not be accepted and will get you banned from the group instantly. And don't be surprised if people defend themselves from innuendos, bullying, and bad behavior. If an administrator chooses to delete you, they didn't just do it arbitrarily because they don't like you. So don't pester the admins afterwards with unnecessary private messages. Again, no marketing and promotions. It'll result in your deletion. All right. All right. So there you go. So there's some rules for the groups. All right. So there you go, folks. Yeah, Bug Out, I don't need to watch the Willem Petzer video. I appreciate that. He was filming, and I think they went to Brits to interview people. So I want to address that. That's why I'm having a little bit different conversation here. Somebody sent me a note in WhatsApp and said, hey, this guy is disparaging you on Facebook. So I went to Facebook, and in fact, someone was disparaging me. Someone called me a liar and said that I was lying about the farm attack in Brits. Well, you're a disgusting, vile human being. I don't lie. I don't mislead people. And you can shove it up your rectum, people who make those claims. My word is my bond. I don't mislead or I'm not dishonest. In LMC, that's also for you. I don't mislead people. I don't cherry pick. I look at things objectively, holistically. Does that mean I get it right every time? No, I'm sure I miss some perspectives on occasion. But to falsely claim that, this is why I don't always report farm murders, not because they're not important, but because there isn't always information. In this case, I know the people who are involved personally. I've lived in a home with these people. There is no reason why they would lie to me. And it's been completely followed up by a police report and then also by AfriForum reporting. So if you want to disparage my credibility, bring it on. Bring it on, because you're the one who lacks credibility. You're the liar. And a little sycophants who commented on Facebook and said, this Chris Wyatt is bad news. You're right. I am bad news. I'm bad news for denialists and frauds like you who lie about the situation in South Africa, who infantilize the news, who lie about people because you're vile, repulsive, hate-wanking Afrikaners. That's right. I'm talking about Afrikaners who are behaving this fashion. People who betray their own community with lies, denialists. Shame on you. Shame on you. You attack my credibility? Piss off. Footsec. Take it on the arches. You don't know what you're talking about or who you're talking to. Clowns. Absolute clowns. Absolute clowns. All right, so we're going to do a little bit different today. I'm going to jump through. I'm not going to catch everybody in the chat. And mods, ease up on folks in the chat today. If they're not being disrespectful, rude, or profane unnecessarily, don't delete them. Different opinions are different opinions. If they're abusive, that's different. Also, if people want to ask questions, that's fine. I would ask that you hold your refugee questions out of consideration. It is a news program. We are going to cover news. And if I happen to answer refugee questions, because I think it's particularly prescient that comes up. But anyway, so let's get to it. All right. So Freya, Skippy, Sandra Yonk is here. Jacob, Christine, Rian Steenkamp, Alts, Chris Ehlers, Gowie Smith, Julie Martin, Van de Nest, Auntie Floyd, Jolene Siebert, Marinda Duplessis, Charles Van Olsen, the voice of reason, Candace, Peter. But I tell you what, guys, these racial insults that keep coming for white South Africans are going to become so numerous, we're going to have to make a marquee. You're going to have to say, welcome to the Neanderthals, the Canines, the car guards, the right-wing podcasters. It's silly. Rugby games, welcome to you. Andre Mostart, Conrad Chudenhuis, Alan Baladi, 1440, Kathleen, Franco Dutoy, Julie, Ronel Henrico, Gary Buchner, Jacob, the Thing of Nouns, interesting username there, Karen Lang, and Jana van den Berg, Gole Krüger, Craig Hanslow, Alan Coates. There's Erica. What's going on? Ian Moon, DJ Music, Helen of Troy, Carlos Freda. Hey, Carlos, what's going on, man? Chris Ehlers, Eddie K. Pat. K. Janssen van Rinsburg. It's cold. Okay. Ronell, I already said. Ben Hashem, good to see you. It's been a while. Chris Lynn, G. Harris, Mental Chewing Gum. Conrad Hellenhuis. Crush on Nina from Fox. I don't know who that is. Ralph West. And then we got Rena Watt. Rakes, Alta. Nick Groves is here. Good to see you, Nick. He's an OG. Val Cooper, another OG. Hendo, 3 OGs in a row. Look at that. Rudolph, Miranda Duplessis, Andre Appelgren, Rebecca, Marius Fenter, Milan, Nadine, Milk and Honey, Abby, Candace, Vilma Erasmus, another OG right there. Whoops. Vilma's an OG. Lauren Clegg, Quids, Anti-Floy. I'm not skipping people intentionally, folks. Just a lot to get here. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Francois de Jaeger, 14 Rand super sticker. Thank you for that. The Thing of Nouns, 14 Rand salutations. Welcome for that. Appreciate it. All right. Hey, lots of Facebook accounts are fake Afrikaners. I've seen this on X as well. Yeah, but the folks, you can't deny this. There are Afrikaners that behave in this fashion. We all know it. So we cannot deny it's true. I've met some of them. I know some of them personally. Hannes Rubla wants to go to the USA. A lot of people do, brother. A lot of people do. Tommy Sides, welcome to you. You took the sides off. Now it's just Tommy. Please report them as house robberies. Yes, I know, Kimberly. That's what I reported on. Please don't worry about these bananas. Awkward Leon, welcome to you. Pat Newman. Yeah, folks, we are trying to get to that 100,000. It's almost as if they're like slowing me down intentionally. We are just creeping along at a glacial pace today. And it's already the 3rd of June. 99,659 bottles of beer on the wall. 99,658 bottles of beer. Knock one down, pass it around. 99,657 bottles of beer. We're a little short there. Your sister apply for green cards. I don't think so, LSF. But I'm not a subject matter expert in that. It's I would apply for whatever programs you want and see how it goes. All right. Don't knock any beer bottles off the wall. Marcel, if you already covered this, but what's your analysis of the impact of the new employee equity amendment? I haven't done analysis on that. I haven't talked about it. I've talked about it occasionally about the 4% white males, and as Cantha and I discussed in the previous broadcast just a short while ago, it's even worse for Indians. Yep. I will eventually. Just been so busy. VidCon. Okay. Johan de Villiers. Tomahawk, South African Truths. Does anyone know if there will be interviews done in Cape Town? Nobody knows that. South African Truths. I would hope they do that, but we don't know that. So if we leave to go to the USA now, in the next 2 months or so, we have autumn and winter again. Love the cold weather. Well, yep, it won't be that quickly. We have summer until October. It won't start to get chilly here until October when fall arrives. So you've got June, July, August, September. You got 4 months before it starts to get chilly. What am I drinking? I'm drinking Starbucks. Gosh, you must be new to the channel here. I mean, I drink this stuff all the time. It's bottled by PepsiCo. It's mostly milk and sugar. So close to 100,000, Lindy. That's right, but we're not quite there. Estelle, how's it going there? Excuse me, I have to sneeze, folks. Ooh, it's coming. It's coming. Woo! That was brutal. I think I took 6 minutes of life off my lifespan with that sneeze. Thank you. Gesundheit, bless you. Thank you so much. What is this? Something quality imported Japanese koi. Okay. I don't like koi. Boy, thank you guys. That was a big sneeze. Told you it was coming. Tried to send you something Telegram today, but doubt you would have been able to open it. Alan, do you use your name on there, or is it some cryptic account, Alan? I have not looked at my Telegram this morning. I haven't sent a video, so let's see. Where's it at? Oh, you did. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Alan. I found it. But I need to add you to it. How much sugar? Oh, there's a lot of sugar in it. A lot of calories in it, too. But as you can see, I'm not a chubby fellow. Although I could lose a little weight. So 190 calories. This little bottle, 190 calories. You wonder where all the energy comes from. There you go. So my FEMA tent does not fit in the Colonel's backyard. Guess I'm sorted. It does not fit in the backyard. Salute you from soldier to soldier. Thanks for your support, says Kai from Mullen. You're very welcome, Kai. Thank you. All right. Read the wrong person from the wrong stream, Mr. Canthan. All right. Chris sneezed mid-sip at Starbucks and launched a pumpkin spice latte into low Earth orbit. NASA called it delicious debris. That's funny. All right. Either way, it's only a plane ticket, a night in the air, B&B, and Uber ride here and there. Well worth it. Huh? All right, so Willem Pet's reported on attacks in Pretoria, northern area. SAP's not reporting. Yes, I know, Johan. I can't find any information on other than the fact that Willem did it. I'm not going to make a video on a video that Willem did. I don't make videos based on what Ronaldo does. I don't make videos based on what other people do. Someone else may break a story, and then because I have a different take or different analysis on it, I will go and analyze it, but I have to find sources. I have not had time to look up that farm attack. But I was attacked on Facebook by someone who said that I lied and that there was no farm attack. My sources and Brits know nothing about this. Well, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means your sources are unreliable. Also, I broke the story as it was news, as it occurred. It was real-time story. So real-time story, it's not going to be in the newspapers. It's not going to be something that your sources and Brits will have. Brits is not a one-donkey town. It's not a massive metropolis, but it's not a one-donkey town. So the fact that you don't have the information doesn't mean it didn't happen. And then the man died, and then they deny it. I'm just so sick of people like this. Prime was attacked in Parle, waiting for an Uber while talking on his phone, beating up himself and money taken. Well, Mark, I don't use phones on the street in South Africa. It's not a good idea. Just some good advice. I was in Parle recently. Yep. And, no, I know. Hey, Anne-Marie, now, where the hell you been there? Good to see you there. He was on the farm. Yeah, I know. Well, it took 7 hours for the cops to get there, and he was 20 minutes away. So that's how he got there. The attack in Brits did happen. Of course it did. Of course it did. The message you read of mine was a reply to the interview questions you read from South African Truths. Huh? Ian, what am I talking? What are you talking about, Ian? I'm sorry, I don't understand. What do I think of New Mexico? It's beautiful. Some silly leftists live there. There's an Apache reservation there, Mescalero Indian Apache Reservation. White Sands is there. It's got some very desolate eastern side of New Mexico, but the western side is beautiful. Yep. Even Albuquerque's nice. Yes, black girl killed on the date. I covered that. Thanks for the word hug. I moved here 3 years ago. This random violence here is completely out my wheelhouse. Nonstop. Well, move away from Sacramento, Cindy, unless you don't have an option. I wouldn't live in California. You couldn't pay me enough to live in California. Well, you could pay me $5 million a year. Then I would have about $200,000 after California robbed me of my tax money. I'm embellishing there. But you couldn't pay me enough to live in California. I've lived in California. It's gone. It's gone. You might as well just take the San Andreas Fault, dynamite it, and let it just float out to sea. California's gone. It's going to take a huge effort to save it. And it's not going to be when they elect demon rats like frickin' Gavin gruesome Gavin Newsom. I'll sleep in a sleeping bag. Okay, there you go. Why do a lot of South Africans keep dismissing what's really going on? Because they're complicit in it, Lauren, from a standpoint that they profit from it. Every small-scale farmer who abandons or sells their farm, it's an opportunity for a large-scale agribusiness to buy your farm, add it to their holdings, and make even more money. They don't want their rich, wealthy, industrious, connected vineyards to not be able to sell grapes or citrus to the United States because they make a ton of money off that in Citrusdale and other places. So they're going to deny it because it suits their needs. These are evil people. Evil people. When things don't suit my needs, I'm honest about it. I don't cover it up and just go for the things that help me out. I tell the truth. Oriental Cats to autism. Can you do something for 4th of July on the channel? I will. I'll also do something in 3 days. June 6th is D-Day. And I'll be writing an article. I've got to do that today after I get off air. That's why I pushed. I had an interview with Jack Miller. Jack responded in time. We were looking to do it at 8 o'clock tonight, but I asked him if we could do it on Friday. Let me look and see if Jack has responded. Hang on a second. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. So Friday. All right, so yeah, so Jack Miller will be on the program Friday evening at 8 p.m. Okay? All right. So yeah, Jack's responded to me, so he's kind of tired, and I figured he would be. So we'll do it Friday. Plus, I need time to write that article for the local newspaper. Ronaldo Hose, check your email. Okay, is Ronaldo here? I didn't see him. Gemini, welcome to you. Alts, Kimberly Benedict, Stella 4, Delana Filion. Okay. I didn't see Ronaldo. Oh, there's Ronaldo. Any idea if there's any leak from that behind the closed doors meeting? No, there's no link. That should make the South African authorities very nervous. The fact that no one has leaked what happened in that meeting is a bit surprising. By the way, so I have to go out later on to go do my monthly run to the bookstore to buy magazines at an outrageous price to keep up on what I read. So I'll be doing that. Also, I need to something else I need to do. I forgot. Oh, shampoo. I need to get some shampoo. By the way, folks, if we ever get to 100,000, I'm getting a haircut. I actually want a haircut because while this feathering, natural feathering of my hair is quite lovely, it's much easier to manage when it's shorter. So it's time for a haircut. And if I get to 100,000, I will trim the beard, even though that wasn't the deal. The deal was the beard, 100,000 in South Africa. We didn't even come remotely close to that. We stopped at 80,000, I think it was. Anyway, so yeah. D-Day, what time is South African Standard Time? I don't understand your question. Chris was never wrong this far. Program will speed up. Moving is on the horizon if Trump can't turn around. A lot has to do with God providing more than $20 a day. You know what I mean? Cindy, okay. All right. $20 a day? What the heck are you doing for $20 a day? You travel a lot. So do you have any suggestions for things we could do to acclimate better to time zone change? Well, first off, Janine, do some research when you find out where you're going. And you'll know, you should know before you come to America, you will know because you'll have a plane ticket that takes you to your ultimate destination. You'll land either in Atlanta or Newark or DC. And then from there, you'll get on a plane and fly somewhere else. So you know where you're going. So do some research. If it's October and you're being sent to Idaho, it's cold. So bring something warm. Your South African snivel gear is not going to be enough. South African snivel gear and your puffer vest will not keep you warm in Idaho in October. Just telling you. In Pennsylvania, they might not keep you warm. So do some research, what time of year it is, and be prepared for it. And remember, the seasons change. You know, just a few months later, we have 4 seasons in this country in most places except for Southern California and Southern Florida. The rest of the country has 4 seasons. Yep. Love your Truthful Podcast. Thank you. Love Heather and Peter. Thank you, Heather and Peter, so much. Okay, but you're using one account. Just teasing. All right, so last week, Sunday, after I spoke to you already, okay, Milk and Honey's having a conversation with Ronaldo, okay. We're not at 100,000 subs. What is D-Day? That's the Normandy invasion in 1944 when the Allies invaded Europe. D-Day, Omaha, Sword, Juno beaches. Okay. No, and now it's not going away. I'm just going to trim it up shorter. You were confused with my comment because it was not to you. Exactly, but you put @real Chris Wyatt. That's why I'm confused. Thank you for the 35 Rand super chat to clarify that. Bring y'all butts to Texas. The bri is always on. Wife and I would love to meet you, says Ralph. By the way, for the folks who are reaching out to me by email and other means saying they'd like to offer support to the refugees, they get support through non-government organizations, and I appreciate that. What I'm going to do is make some sort of organization or platform or something where people can reach out and share stuff. But we have to be very circumspect about that because leftists will try to undermine that. So you have to be very careful. I've got people in Houston already offering jobs to offer condos, but it doesn't really work that way. Oh my goodness, look at this. Dylan Combrick says, before your time. What's before my time? And Virtual Western Cape thanks all of us for bringing awareness. Ralph Trees, okay. That's why crime statistics are inaccurate because the reports don't reflect the truth. Yep, crime stats are cooked. Yep. And look at that. Oh my goodness, folks. Ronaldo Host just gave a massive super chat. Thank you, Ronaldo. It's very kind of you. Just trying to get the alert box. It's turned off because we had an interview on earlier, or a conversation on interview. Baby Trump. All right. Wow, Ronaldo, 1,000 Rand. Thank you for that, Reno. Wow. Give him 100,000 for 100,000. 100 million Zim dollars. Yeah, waiting for Ronaldo's live stream. Is he on today? There was an attack in Heatherdale. Okay, is that the one that we were talking about earlier? PK says, seriously need to talk about the beard cut plan. When I'm in, you're in Neisna. Debbie, Neisna is on the agenda for the next visit. Neisna, the garden route, Mossel Bay, George, Neisna. I've never stopped in Neisna. It's on the plans for next time. This time I'll drive because last time Rob Hutchison was a driver and I got to go as a passenger, which was pretty cool. I got to do a lot of filming and get some good stock footage of the route, the garden route. But yeah, the garden route, Bloemfontein, Oranje, Polokwane, Nelspruit, all on the agenda for next time. Quid says, don't touch your beard, it defines you. Well, no, it doesn't. It's just something I have. It definitely is a trademark, though. Were you in Texas? Oh, okay. For everyone running the Comrades this weekend. Yeah, good luck. Hopefully we don't have a lot of deaths. Eric and I were at the Comrades a few years ago. What a great... actually, do I have my Comrade sign here still? I had it. Is it still there? Yeah, I think I took it downstairs. There is it in the corner. Nah, I think it's downstairs. I have my Comrade sign here. I liberated a Comrade sign a couple years ago. Managed to bring it all the way back to the States. So I have my Comrade sign, along with all of my election posters from last time. Hair grows very fast. It wasn't long ago. Yeah, I just cut my hair in South Africa. It was short, and my ear was trimmed up. They did a really good job. It was a Jordanian guy. What are Jordanians doing in Santon? We ever come this way, Tenzin, we will take you to Kruger. Well, how far is that from Nelspruit? We have Zimbabwe, 100 trillion. Okay. New here, Samantha Myberg wanted to know what would be the best place to go for a refugee. Well, that's a silly question, Samantha. I'm not saying yours being silly. I'm just saying, how could I possibly answer that question? I don't know who you are. I don't know if you like mountains or deserts or high desert chaparral or subtropical weather or Mediterranean climates. I don't know what your job skills are. I mean, there are clusters of tech centers in Massachusetts, in California, in Texas. There are. How can I possibly answer that question? You should do PE in Mossel Bay Garden Route, and then go to Americansport. I've done PE several times, Congo Chris. Okay, all right. What else we got here? Is it true that most Americans pronounce herb as herb? Correct. That's how it's pronounced because the H is silent. It's French. It comes from French. Herb. Les herbes. Les herbes. Yep. You can't shave it. We'll render the team of badge useless. Comrade sign. Yep, that's right. Expropriation without compensation. I stole the Comrade sign. That's right. Well, I was cleaning up the streets. It was laying on the street. But Eric and I, what I was saying about there is when we left the Comrades, we drove by. That's when I left the tripod on top of the car. Thought the cops were trying to give me a hard time. They were just trying to warn me that I left the tripod on the top in my haste to get out of there because we parked on the side. I thought they'd give me a hard time about parking there. So we drove up the street. They had the barriers there and the runners coming in, thousands of them at the finish. And we drove up the street past Wyatt Street, and which is where I stopped. That's where I liberated the sign. I got a Comrade sign from Wyatt Street. How cool is that? In Durban, as they came down from Peter Maritzburg. And then we drove up, and as we approached the McDonald's, guy just dropped dead right there. It was horrible. Yeah, Eric and I saw it. Then we went around the corner and I stopped. I'm like, where's my tripod? And I looked outside. It was still on top of the car. It was really cool. Now, I bought a replacement one because that one, the little rubber grommets fell off because the rubber cement wasn't great. The replacement one sucks, buttermilk. It's made from plastic. This one is made from heavy metal, so it was pretty cool. Wife and I live 45 minutes south of Dallas, okay? We're in possession of 10 commie medals. Oh, cool, Joe. I've never run it, and I never will. I had planned on doing it, but not anymore. So, did I shake this for Ronaldo's super chat? Thank you, Ronaldo. Pat, Colonel, what's your thoughts on Alabama? Sucks, humid, low educational outcomes, BMW plants, not my cup of tea. People mocking the resettlement, laughing about it being the Kill the Boer song and saying the happy we're going. Yeah, that's because they're evil people. It's aluminum, not aluminium. It's aluminum. Look at it. Aluminum. Aluminium, no. What's the best state to go if you want to open a carpentry? Every state has construction. More populous states are going to have more construction. If you're unemployed and can't afford to get a passport and other docs, what to do? Well, you need to be more creative there, Samantha. You need to be more creative. Have you stood in the corner and begged for money? Have you contacted relatives? Have you sold something important? Gerard Janssen van Furen said, I missed your comment on your next tour when you plan to be in Nelspruit. Well, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. Death threats and threats from people in South Africa make it imprudent to disclose my travel plans. So my travel plans are not to be discussed in future until I'm at my destination, like I did this time. And I appreciate why you're asking, Gerard, but you're an honest person. Not everyone is. Fun one, wannabe. 40 minutes from Nelspruit to Kruger Park. There you go. What's your opinion of Florida? Sucks. Miami sucks. South Carolina, beautiful, but brutally humid. It's not a silent H in English, though. No, it is a silent H. It is a silent H. The English don't know how to speak the language properly. We've fixed it. American English is the correct version. The English don't know how to pronounce English properly. Okay. Eric is back, and then she went to supper. Agreed, do not discuss travel plans. There are true crazies out there. Yep. The man's name is Herbert. Well, Herbert is not French. Well, Hébert. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Well, why did the English spell color and flavor with an O-U? It's not spelled that way. It's O. Aluminum is the correct way. It's changed by the S to make it easier to say. Exactly. Doylestown. What about Doylestown? Thoughts on Galveston? People like the Gulf of Mexico. Doesn't do anything for me. You fixed the language. Yes, we did. We fixed the language, and now they broke it. You know, my ancestors, the Normans, invaded in 1066. My 34th great-grandfather, Harold Godwinson, moved from Stamford Bridge, where he defeated the Norwegians who invaded, the Vikings, and he moved his army in rapid speed down to meet the incoming army of Viking-descended Normans under William the Bastard, my other 34th great-grandfather. They met, and in a battle that lasted most of the day, and it could have gone either way, Harold Godwinson was slain on the battlefield, and then the English army melted away, and the Normans won. And they promptly brought the language of the court, which is French, which they'd adopted in the course of a century and became Roman Catholics after being heathens and being Norse speakers. And then they forced French on English. That's why English is such a colorful language. That's why we have things like many words to explain animals and the meat. So in French, when you want pig, you say pork. When you want eat the meat, you say pork. In English, we say swine for the animal. We say pig for the animal. We say pork for the meat. We've got lots of words because it comes from Norse, from French, and from Roman, some of it, from Latin. Rob gave 100. Man, thank you, Rob. Wow. That's your 5th super chat. Eric, you gave 140. Thank you for that. Congrats. Well, I haven't reached 100,000. What are you guys talking about? I haven't reached 100,000. You guys are premature here. We're still 331 away. You guys are just trying to beat the crowd. Now you're going to have to give more super chats when I hit 100,000. But no need to comment. By making June Veteran Remembrance Month would be a great idea to show the appreciation of veterans. That's not controversial. Not controversial at all. I know it's a coincidence, but if you take the word cancer, you find, yes, ANC's in there. That's correct. Why does everybody act like I had 100,000? I'm not there yet, folks. No, none of these people have plane tickets to America. They're just asking. Strong boy. Hope to meet you one day. Well, I meet a lot of people. It's a good chance of it. If you're immigrating from South U.S., pull up a map how people voted in the last election. Well, if you're coming as a refugee, it doesn't matter because you're going to go where you're put. Bacon. Yep, that's another source of meat. Okay. Love the history discussions. Which theaters did South Africa fight during World War II? Primarily in North Africa. They're part of the North Africa campaign, primarily. The whales have arrived in Hermanus. Of course they have, Chris Cam, because I'm not there. Of course the whales are in Hermanus. Those bastards. Those evil whales. Now they're in Hermanus. See, I'm here. Kalpana Sony, welcome. I liked your description of our conversation about intelligence and spiciness. I work for a UK company through a US company, a South African middle software developer, US company. Okay. I don't know what you're going there, but okay. We'll definitely take it some other states. We can always move You can move, but you lose your support window. My recommendation, anybody comes over as a refugee, is stay in place for a year, get settled, get your bank account set up, get your credit rating built up, get accustomed to life in America, get yourself a car, and then worry about moving somewhere else after you've adjusted. Milan says, did you see the MK sent Shivambu to Parliament? Shows you what Parliament is worth. No, I didn't. So Tubby Boy is now in Parliament. I saw him being interviewed about the Bashiri guy, the Reverend scammer who's in Malawi. All right, so thank you for the super chat. Tired of living in the desert. My son told me that Wyoming has a desert as well, JP Nadir. But Wyoming is lovely on the west side, and in the southeast corner it's quite lovely, in the northeast corner. So in the middle it's just all desolate, high desert chaparral. But Wyoming is stunning. I love Wyoming. But no. These are not the droids you're looking for. You don't want Wyoming. No. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I meant to say Idaho. Not Wyoming, Idaho. That's where you want to go. Idaho. Sorry, little brain cramp there. It's not Wyoming. Wyoming's not for you. It's terrible. It's all desert. It's nobody lives there. They don't even have telephones in part of the state. No. You want Idaho. That's what you want. Helene says, from what groups do you get death threats? Well, Helene, I'm not going to discuss that. I mean, that's a question for the police, not for my audience. Did you enjoy the rugby this weekend? The beginning was nervous. Yeah, it was pretty lame, the first half of the Sharks game, but it ended incredibly exciting. You see what happened in Uganda? I did not, Michelle. What happened in Uganda? It hadn't happened as of this morning when I started preparing for things. Sometimes you got to remember, folks, I mean, I'm up at 6 a.m. looking at news and pulling up relevant news articles and putting them up. We haven't even gotten to that yet. Thank you, Adolf, for becoming Adolf Richter. Thank you for becoming, what's a very German name, becoming a member. And then if I'm busy and don't get a chance to go back and scrub the news real quick before I go live, which I didn't have time to do today because I'm editing a video. So I'll give you a sneak peek, okay? Let me give you a sneak peek of this, okay? Let me do this. Just a little peek here. This is what's coming after this broadcast. I'll finish this up. So let me, so here we go. Just a little quick peek. You can see behind the scenes. This is the editing of a video. I don't know, this might interest some people. So it was lovely to shake your hand at Belito. Thank you, John. Or Jean, excuse me. Jean would be in French. Okay, so here you go. Jean d'Arc. Okay, so here you go. A little behind the scenes here. Hello, folks. Welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. You know, Bill Engvall said it right so many years ago. Stupid people should wear signs. That way you wouldn't ask him anything. Well, the Mumpara of the week is a United States congressman from Massachusetts, a self-promoting, politically ambitious person who served briefly in the Marine Corps, obviously, to get himself bona fides to run for office. This man is a clown. Let's listen to some of the drivel that comes out of his mouth in his recent stupid, uninformed commentary about President Trump.
Mr. President, you're a racist.
Mr. Representative, you're a fool.
And you're hurting our national security. Trump is welcoming white Afrikaners based on a conspiracy theory that they're under a genocide, which is blatantly false.
No, that's incorrect. Apparently, this member of Congress isn't bright enough to read modern standard written English and is hell-bent on his racist, democratic policy position. Hope you found that interesting. That's so you can see a little bit peek behind the curtain there. Anyway, that's something I'm working on. I haven't got a chance to finish it up because I had broadcast earlier, plus communicating with people. Yes, I heard the Dutch government dissolved, but I mean that's bound to happen. It was on a knife's edge. Wyoming, Montana, Idaho have a mass exodus because they have massive numbers of Californians, Oregonians living. Well, they also have a mass exodus of illegal aliens who've been working in the economy in everywhere in Montana and Idaho. The water is being curtailed by the government in Wyoming and Idaho. It's a land grabbed by developers. Strong suspects how it does not know how much they need you. Hey, Joe. Not the beard, says Vladimir. Yankee Mumpara of the week, Footsec. Yep. Chapel Hill or Cary, North Carolina. I don't know Cary, but I know Chapel Hill. Okay. It took my wife half a decade to teach me Afrikaans. I still battle today, and that's 3 decades later, says Alan. 2 of my American clients had to go to South Africa because they were denied a visa to stay and were married to South African men. Huh? That doesn't make any sense, Debbie. What is Ranger saying? Oh, evening all, 100,000 Sue beer gun. Thank you, Ranger, for the 14 Rand. Okay. Carl von Drun, conspiracy, yet we're all here confirming it's true. Yeah, exactly. To my American clients, I still don't get that. Just remember, pork does not come from the farmer. Pork comes from Pickaby. That's true. It's not Julius. It was an ANC member in Parliament said that. Sleep TV. Oh, sorry. Sleep TV, welcome to you. From UK, originally of Afro-Caribbean heritage, living in South Africa. Love the work you are doing. Really sad what's happening. Keep up the glory. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, are you a descendant of the Windrush generation? I presume that's the case, Afro-Caribbean, or you couldn't be from the Windrush. You'd be like 75 now. Maybe you are. But the Windrush generation, after the Second World War, so many English were killed in the war that there was a massive labor shortage. And so that labor shortage was initially filled by Afro-Caribbeans who moved from the Caribbean British possessions to the UK. And they made big contributions to the UK. They are the OGs. Then later, Nigerians flooded the country and West Africans. But the Afro-Caribbeans are the OGs. They contributed immensely to the post-war success of the United Kingdom. Thank you, Sleep TV, for sharing that. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Pretty cool. Miguel Fundavestois, and I don't know if you noticed, but previous BLF leader Makima is now a member of Parliament. Yeah, I know, I'm aware of that. Yep. Okay, just call him a pinko communist. Okay? People need to take into account cost of living in each state before hoping. Yeah, but pay also matches that. Leone says, think you missed, did you see Crosses in the Sam music video? I did. Yeah, I haven't commented on that yet. South African invasion of Wyoming. Nope. Except I'm on par of the week nomination by the Wyatt Army. Yeah, okay. Okay. Any poll tonight? Yeah, I'm going to put a poll about the beer in a moment. So hoping Chris gets 100,000 by night. I've been watching the live counter today. Maybe it happens in this hour. No, it's not going to happen this hour, folks. We're just too far away. Too far away. We're at 99,674. Too far away. War is hell. If I did a video that said something about Malema, I might make it, but probably not. War is hell. Invest in a dog and keep your house with you. Interesting. Silly question. Can I request to be sent to warm or warmest? You can request anything you want, Great Worship, but you're going to get where they have the ability to put you. If you have a job offer or a job, you have family somewhere and you want to be located near them, it can be arranged. Santana is with her sister, but she's disconnected from the refugee agent assistance because that's where she has to go, and they accommodate her because they didn't have to pay for it. They didn't have to spend money on her. So, yep. Since Bolito meet and greet, you don't reply to anything I ask. That's nonsense. That's nonsense, Wills. I mention you all the time. Are you smoking crack cocaine? A little too much chibuku in your diet. I have mentioned you in virtually every broadcast, Wills. What are you talking about? You need to turn the volume up on your program, Wills. Anyway, Golda Kruger, what's going on? Robinson Queen Crusoe. Okay, Wyoming is full. That's right, Wyoming is full. Wyoming is full. Rentia, hey, sorry, got to go. Where are you going, Rentia? All right, so news. Where's my news at? Here we go. Life after AGOA. We don't need the Americans. No. The Americans don't matter. We've got China. Yeah, as Kenneth M. Pillay and I discussed in the previous conversation, what a crock. What a bunch of uninformed nonsense. Well, here's the impacts. We know it now. William Brederode at business section of News 24 says South African auto exports have crashed. South African automotive exports to the United States dropped by a third in the first 3 months of 2025, with the slump intensifying in April, which is the first month without access to the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. The total value of South African auto exports to the U.S. in April slumped to $2 billion from $3.2 billion a year the previous year. South Africa has long enjoyed duty-free access to the U.S. for a wide variety of products and categories under AGOA, but this came to an end at the start of April. Wait till the next statistics come out for May, June, and July with a 10% tariff. Woo, brother. There go the jobs. Can you hear that big sucking sound as the jobs disappear in Port Elizabeth, in Roslyn? Yep. Gone. In Uitenhage, jobs gone. Gone. Big sucking sound. Thank you, ANC. Has Dixon been put in the naughty corner? I watch Malema's raw speech. He's blaming our unemployment rate on white people. Of course, because he's a bigot. Don't understand where he gets that from. How can 7% of South Africans be responsible for the 40% unemployment rate? Yep. Would 4,500 hours a month be enough for an average family of 3 living very modestly? You need a new F-250. You know what they cost? $60,000 at least. No, it's not enough. It's not modestly. An F-250 is not modest. That's excessive. A beater car for $1,000 is modest. South Africa's chief export is now productive, God-fearing South Africans. What do you think about Elizabeth Warren's statement? I don't listen to Elizabeth Warren. She's a fraud. She's Pocahontas, just a fraud. The outside background, the outside videos look like a movie setup. The trees have leaves and the grass the same length. Let's not forget the road has tar on it. Yeah, no potholes. Thank you for the 50 Rand super chat there, Martinez J. Butts. The only reason cars are made in South Africa is to avoid tariffs. Exactly. And now that you have tariffs, we're not buying them. Yep. Okay. Can't wait to eat a turkey for Thanksgiving. You can eat a turkey anytime. I eat poultry. I primarily eat turkey. Don't eat a lot of beef here. Just for turkey, it's healthier. Someone expropriated about manufacturing sector. What is the only card you can play? You play the race card. Yep. If I'm lucky enough to make it to the States, I would love to make my way to Montana. Okay. I think car export issue has a lot to do with Chinese car craze going on. No, it doesn't. What does that have to do with the export craze, Ian YouTubian? South Africans are making a ton of money. That's R1 billion. R1 billion. It's $50 million in 3 months. Lost. That's because his cars aren't being exported to America anymore. Kay's Garden, welcome to you. Thank you for your dedication, effort. Voiceless will one day be written in history. Well, thank you. People generally calling me the 21st century Emily Hobhouse. Never mind the fact I'm not the point that I don't wear dresses. But I appreciate the very, very kind reference. Paul Dufton, Paula Dalton, excuse me. I'm used to being unemployed. You've reached an expert level. I'm sorry to hear that. D. Beaumont, I wouldn't ever purposely denigrate someone in a racial perspective, but I have nothing good to say about the ANC. Well, the ANC's not black, so you can say what you want about the ANC. No, you're not living with me, Durpin. Peter Muller, I heard that Shell is going to withdraw as well. Well, not according to Panul. The upstream business is staying. They're getting rid of their petrol stations. I hope you're well. Regarding the refugee route, is Medicare expensive? Medicare is what pays for it. There are co-pays, and they can be expensive. Chronic medical conditions that require expensive meds. Yeah, well, it just depends. So, interesting full disclosure, I get my meds normally for free. That's the one thing I do get for free. I don't have any copay for meds unless I go get them in a private pharmacy. But if I give them at the military pharmacy, which is a bit of a drive, I get them for free. But I don't use much in the way of meds, so it's not really something that affects me. The only reason I have any meds is the stupid doxycycline for the rosacea. If I stop taking it, I look like a 12-year-old break out. You can see that here. I stopped taking the medicine, and you can see this broken out right here. Yep, and then also over here. And then up here on the forehead. That's getting better now, but you can see that I broke out because this disease I got courtesy of these scumbags that make me wear a mask during COVID. Do you even read the super chats? Do I even read the super chats? Of course I read the super chats. Who asked that question? 70,000 white men, over 100,000 women are losing their jobs. That's according to one of the media outlets. 14 ran for Matthew Dixon. Yeah, the Stormers game was terrible, Matthew. Thank you for reminding me of that. The Bulls game made up for it, and the Sharks game really made up for it. Sedgefield's here. Okay. My wife says you got to wear her Colonel Love's Adidas. Oh, yeah. It's right over here. You told me that shirt. I was going to wear it already. Hang on. I'll be right back. Hang on. Is this the shirt you're talking about? Is that the one? Is that the shirt you're referring to? Okay. Marty, same here. I shave, I look like I'm in high school. Yeah, it's a problem. I look really young. friend of mine said Home Affairs told her that an bridge could take up to a year. Yep. Where is the... I have no doubt that Ramaphosa calls Xi Jinping boss. I'm looking to see. Did he respond? 7 days without electricity. My goodness. Oh, was that damn bunny on the screen again? That thing is out of control. Anyway, so South Africa's car exports are collapsing. They're collapsing because AGOA is gone. Easily predictable. And South Africa still doesn't have a trade representative in the U.S. The ANC and the GNU don't care about their trade relationship with the United States. They are rubbishing 5% of your GDP. They don't care. They think it'll just happen. Of course, idiots like Wade and Montasha, if they don't give us the aid, we won't give them the minerals. Really? I guess he thinks that we need your minerals. We don't. We don't. We don't. Well, 1440, your chats are posting. Bombarding Pierce Morgan with messages to get you on the show as an actual professional. Thank you very much, Terry Barkhuizen. That's nice. Well, get more people to go do it. The Rand may be weak, but East Rand is strong. Germiston representing. Thank you, Benjamin. Head on a swivel and stay right with your creator today. Everyone got to go. All right, Cindy, take care. Emerentia Quinn, thank you for your 14 Rand. If they say documents take longer, drive a little further. Exactly. Good day, Vander Smuts. Thank you for your updates. You're very welcome. Trevor Charles, what do you think the approval rate if people apply the refugee program? Near 100%. Live near a airport. Saw a car on the highway today packed with suitcases. Couldn't even see the people inside. Yeah, I just gave you the bugger off money. Always wanted to build something to help people in need. Okay. Mkabizi Jonas is still in South Africa. He is staying away from the U.S. Guys, it's an intentional collapse in order to seize complete control, says Aunt Anthony. Kevin Johnson lasts 75 years. African population grew by 1 billion. Will take 25 years to add 1 billion. Correct. So that means around 15 million will come to South Africa squatter camps. Ouch, that's pretty scary. Helena Troy. Nikki just gave 10 memberships. Thank you for that. I got to turn that off real quick so that we don't get inundated by the alert box. There you go. Okay, so the judge has dismissed the bid for an acquittal by Jacob Zuma in the Thales corruption trial. This is from the arms deal of 1999, 26 years ago. We still don't have justice. Antoinette, how many months will refugees need to build a good credit score before buying a car? 0. If you have money, you can go pay cash for it. I think your question is how long to get a car loan. Well, I'm not an expert in that. I don't know how long it takes to build good credit, but if Arctic were here, he's been missing for the last few days. Arctic has gone through this experience building a credit score and credit history here. You can do it in a matter of months, if I'm not mistaken. But the longer you have credit, the stronger your score can be. Apply for your Timothy Lodor's passport. He said that my fiancé passports do not count as legal identification, even though it has her ID number. Well, they're just giving you a hard time there, Cade. I would go back and demand something of them. Or go to another location. There'll always be enough wealth in South Africa to live comfortably. ANC is not the biggest problem. It's the top echelon. Yep. All right. So the judge has dismissed Jacob Zuma's effort to get his case thrown out. Oh, poor Jay-Z. He's going to run out the clock till he dies. KZN High Court Judge Nkosanti Chile, what a cool name, has dismissed the summary acquittal applications of former President Jacob Zuma and French arms company Thales, in which they cited unreasonable delays in their corruption trial. Well, there have been unreasonable delays of 20-some years. These people should have been prosecuted a long time ago. Long time ago. The government is on alert as the politician disease has spread to cattle. Foot and mouth. Foot and mouth disease. Yep. Department of Agriculture is extremely worried about the discovery of foot and mouth disease in a Gauteng feedlot owned by Karan Beef. It's one of the largest beef producers. Discovered the case in Heidelberg on Friday. Dipanang Sarang, Deputy Director, General Agriculture Production, Biosecurity and Natural Resources, said the department was hoping to receive vaccines from Botswana. So, I'm sorry. So, excuse me. So South Africa, country 63 million, once a world-class first world economy, the place where Christian Bernard did the first ever heart transplant, the country that designed and developed artillery that can fire 50 miles, the G6, the G5, and built one of the world's most impressive attack helicopters in the 1980s, cannot produce vaccine against foot and mouth. They have to turn to tiny Botswana with 2.3 million people next door to get vaccine for foot and mouth. How embarrassing is that? Are you going to be borrowing electricity from Botswana next? Wow. Well, South African astronomers are entering the political realm, throwing up nonsense about the large array. Yep, the South Africa's big square kilometer array in South Africa, claiming that Starlink will obstruct our ability to use our radio telescopes. What a bunch of horse manure. Starlink will be not deploying satellites to cover South Africa. They're already in space. People think that you're stupid. We're not stupid. Wow. Astronomers working with South Africa's Square Kilometer Array telescope are pushing authorities to ensure that any license agreement with Elon Musk's Starlink will protect their groundbreaking observations. Wow. Scientists fear South Africa's Square Kilometer Array, the world's most powerful radio telescope, together with another array co-hosted in Australia, will have their sensitive space observations distorted by Starlink's low Earth orbiting satellites. They're already there. They haven't noticed any problem. Do you see how these scumbags use politics? So to South African scientists and astronomers who are lying to the world about this, I have something for you. The satellites are already in orbit, you fools. They're already in orbit. They're already there. How are they affecting your array? They're not. They're not affecting your array. Fools. Well, the SASCOC, South African Sports Federation president, get kicked out of parliament for asking hard questions and accusing members of parliament of being involved. South African Sports Confederation Olympic Committee President Barry Hendricks was kicked out of parliamentary meeting today. He accused members of parliament of using their oversight work to increase their personal social media following. He refused to withdraw his comments. Well, good for you. Good for you, Barry, but you're just as bad about using social media for your personal stuff. But you're right. You're right. Ladies and gentlemen, I reported on this last night. South Africa, a country of 63 million people, has... Hang on. Let me see. Minus, take away the 7, carry over the 2. Oh, yes, they have one driver's license printing machine in the entire country. And it breaks down all the time. It's a German machine, and it breaks down all the time. The ANC has let this country deteriorate to the position that 747,000 licenses can't be renewed because the machine is broken down. It's back up. It'll break again. One machine for a country of 63 million people. And they're not embarrassed. They're not embarrassed. Can you believe it? They cannot produce them. This is ridiculous. Driver license printing machine, not machines, ladies and gentlemen, machine. This is news in South Africa. The driver's license printing machine has been repaired, but there's a huge backlog. The only driver's license printing machine in all of South Africa. Millions have been spent on repairing and maintaining that one machine. Department of Transport announced earlier this month that the driver's license printing machine was fixed and operations have resumed, but the machine has been inoperative since February 7th, resulting in a backlog of 747,748 unprinted driver's license. Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave here after this broadcast and go to the Barnes & Noble bookstore, which is 15 minutes away. And that will be 5 minutes from a driver's license issuing center where I could go today and renew my driver's license if it was necessary. I can drive 20 minutes south of here to the county seat and get my driver's license renewed. I can go 15 minutes west of here. You get the picture. There's 5 driver's license issuing facilities within 20 minutes of where I'm sitting. 5. For a population of 60,000. There is one in all of South Africa. But it's Jan van Riebeck's fault. It's Hendrik Verwoerd's fault. It's John Forster's fault. F.W. de Klerk's fault. It's apartheid's fault. It's evil white people They're responsible because they're unwilling to do transformation. We've seen what transformation means in South Africa. Pervasive poverty, 3 times many black South Africans living in abject poverty as under the National Party. We've seen what transformation means, a rich, connected elite of 100 people who have profited to the tune of R1 trillion. We've seen what transformation means, the rise in violent crime. We've seen what transformation means in South Africa. It means one driver's license printing machine, no roads, no rails, the worst performing ports in the world. Yeah. So white South Africans are opposed to transformation? Hell yeah, Skippy. Of course they don't want transformation because they don't want the country to collapse. And neither do black South Africans or Indians or coloreds. Of course they're opposed to transformation because transformation is racism. Transformation is racist policy intended to impoverish the people who used to run the country. It is racist, racist, racist. One driver's license machine. It's all Starlink's fault. You're correct. It's Elon Musk's fault because he's poisoning the mind of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is just misinformed. He just doesn't know. Oh my goodness. Well, you can get Nigerians to print them for you off their printing machines. Yeah. Orange man bad. Matthew Dixon, what is with you today? You need to ease up on your cough syrup. You know there's alcohol in cough syrup. You drink too much of that stuff, you get a little tipple. Yeah, they wanted to ship it to Germany, but there was no plane. Exactly. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Bartholomew Diaz's fault. The Portuguese came first. Forgot about that. Transformation equals destruction and looting. Exactly right. Yes, no, it's apartheid, folks. It's apartheid. It's apartheid. It's your birthday. Hey, isn't this a violation of the Poppy Act? I mean, look what they did here. The IOL printed this person's fingerprint. Isn't that a violation of the Poppy Act? I'm just asking. Yeah, it's the bloody colonials, Dion Olivier. Those damn colonials. They destroyed everything. Meanwhile, another propaganda story, this one about South African produce. South African farm exports rise 19% in the first quarter. Yes, and they talk about how Trump is fictional white genocide. Here it is, once again, South Africans using the term, not Trump. Ed Stoddard, he's the one using the term, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump's false claims about a white genocide. Donald Trump didn't make any such claims. Ed Stoddard, you're a propagandist. You're lying. They want Starlink for police stations and drones to battle crime, but they can't even keep one printer running or one vehicle running for that matter. Fish's fault for evolving out of the water. Oh, Louise, her daughter's passport appointment's on Friday. Cool. Chill on the Kool-Aid. Exactly. Leave the poros out of the argument. Huh? Yeah, that barcode's readable too. Yep. Who do they blame for living in the bush with no sign of civilization in 1652? Did they have apartheid? No, they didn't, Buster. My drain is blocked. Oh, that sucks. Don't forget it's Starlink's fault. Yeah, spying. Action SA wants to amend the Constitution to deny rights to illegal aliens. And I say more power to them. Illegal aliens should never have rights. If you violate a country's sovereignty, you're not entitled to its protections and its freedoms and liberties. They want to amend the Constitution to limit undocumented foreign nationals' rights. Then they should. Criminal alien invaders should have no rights. They're criminals by definition. And I actually support Action SA. They want to amend the Constitution. Multiple ways. Well, man, this is great news. Ruben van Heerden is the winner of an award from the URC. He scooped the top tackle machine accolade. Yep. Stormers lock Ruben van Heerden collected the tackle machine prize for this season. The Stormers crashed out. Thank you, Matthew Dixon, for reminding us that. Van Heerden was the season's best tackler with a success rate of 98%. Wow, 98%. That's incredible. The award recognized the best tackle success rate among those who have attempted 150 or more over the course of the campaign. He made his 50th appearance for the Stormers this season. He took home the prize, making 171 tackles at a success rate of 98%. That means he just missed one tackle all season. He made 171 tackles and he missed one tackle. That is unbelievable. Van Heerden, unsung hero for the Stormers. It's a call from the government, but no one is taking it. I see you're also following them on X, but it seems none have seen it. It's called ARMS. Huh? Alzette says, I applied for my driver's license 3 March, expiry 31 May. License department told me I must now buy a temporary. Yeah, exactly. They're just a way to milk money out of you. Never in the world have so few been a threat to so many. Yeah, because they're wusses. Teresa says, wow, is the printing machine back? Yes, it is. Did you notice how many news reports are out about the deportation of illegals? It's like they're going in overdrive. Yeah, well, South Africa is. Well, South Africa and the U.S. are in deportation of illegals. By the way, let me take a look and see if we've gained any subscribers here, folks. 9967481. Still got a way to go. 319 more. Not going to make it today, I don't think. Anyway. When I'm in the USA and I'm doing Social Security, it's easy for me to change my Afrikaans name. Fundamentally, no, it's not. You have to pay to do that, unless you enlist in the Army. But I think you're past the age of enlistment. You enlist in the Army, you can change your name. Yep. Otherwise, you have to go to a court to do it. Yep. All right. So thanks for the news, Madeline. Cool. Thank you for watching. And thank you for helping me get to 100,000, which we're not at yet. All right, back to the news. All right, so, well, the Trump administration will be opening up the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to drilling. Yes, drill, baby, drill. The resources are there for humankind to exploit and use, and the environmental wackos have lost. The Trump administration plans to eliminate federal protections that ban drilling and mining millions of acres of pristine Alaskan wilderness. They're not pristine. Animals crap everywhere. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum said the Biden administration had exceeded its authority in adding restrictions on more than half of a 23 million acre lot that was originally envisioned to supply fuel to the Navy in times of emergency. They prefer that we are left defenseless because they're the same people who let us suffer, and let the Japanese attack us. Remember, the Democrats ran the country when the Japanese did a sneak attack. The Democrats pushed the Japanese to attack us by banning oil and steel exports to Japan, who had no option. They couldn't get to the Indonesian oil fields. They needed oil for their government, for their economy. So they were forced into attacking the Americans. That's one view of it. Supreme Court allows restrictions on AR-15s. Maryland's restrictions remain in effect. Supreme Court declined yesterday to hear a challenge to Maryland's assault weapons ban. There's no such thing as an assault weapon, allowing the state's sweeping prohibition on the possession or sale of the popular AR-15 to remain in place. Why? It's illegitimate. Supreme Court leaves in place state bans on some semi-automatic weapons and high-capacity gun magazines. Why? Supreme Court declined Monday to hear arguments in a pair of significant Second Amendment challenges. Yep. Colorado attack injured 12. It was planned for a year. The FBI said in a court filing the suspect, an Egyptian illegal who had falsely sought asylum in the United States illegally, brought more than a dozen incendiary devices to a march in support of hostages in Gaza. He'd been planning the attack for a year, and he said after his arrest, it was also clear of his motive, saying he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead. Federal officials said Monday they charged the man, Mohammed Sabri Suleiman, with a hate crime for an attack that sent 8 people to the hospital with burns and other injuries. Suspect yelled "Free Palestine" as he hurled 2 incendiary devices. He disguised himself as a gardener in order to get as close as possible to the marchers before attacking them. And this illegal alien overstayed his visa. Elon Musk's historic role at Doge shows that even a chainsaw can't cut the federal government's bloat. Elon Musk's departure from the Trump administration last week was satirized on the humor website Babylon Bee, which reported the tech billionaire will now spend his time tackling the much easier job of sending human beings to Mars. Funny, but as Mr. Musk learned, not too far from the truth. The president's Department of Government Efficiency dedicated thousands of hours to reducing federal spending by ridding the government of waste, fraud, and abuse. Mr. Musk left the job having made just a fraction of the cuts he'd anticipated. Yep. After predicting he could reduce the federal spending by $2 trillion, he was closing in on $200 billion in cuts. And what did I say? What did I say? When Musk went there, I said, in 4 months, they think they're going to trim $1 trillion. Now they're saying $2 trillion from it. I said, not going to happen. At best, you maybe get a couple $100 billion trimmed out of the budget, because only 18% of the federal budget is discretionary. Unless you cut Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, you are not going to reduce the federal budget, because that's 82% of the budget. 82% of the budget are what are known as entitlements. They're not entitlements. There's nothing in the Constitution that must be paid except our debt and for a Navy. That's the only thing the government has to do. The only thing the Constitution forces us to do, to pay for, is our debt and the Navy. Yep. Not even the Army, even though it predates the Navy. Well, I'm not even going to go into this. Barney Tombombi from Times Live says some stupid stuff. But I am going to cover this. Representative Maxine Waters and her crooked campaign have been called out for ethics violations and fined. The campaign for Representative Maxine Reprobate Waters, the demon rat from California, has agreed to pay $60,000 fine to avoid going to court after the Federal Election Commission investigation found the Congresswoman's 2020 committee violated several campaign finance rules. Citizens for Waters and its treasurer, David Gould, are accused of failing to accurately report receipts and disbursements and knowingly accepting excessive contributions. Yep. Another criminal in Congress, Maxine Waters, and a racist, too. Horrible person. You seen the Vim Petzer video? No, I haven't seen it. Answered a question about South Africa on TikTok, and the guy said, I must be quiet because I'm Portuguese, according to my surname, so I answered him in Afrikaans. Well done, Desmond Diaz. Yep. If USA beats South Africa, then best. What's this? Okay. People go to bed very early. I must have a really old crowd here tonight. Heart runs over the chat all the time, maybe on purpose most nights. I don't know about that. Anyway, 1,150 people currently here. 909 likes. That's it? 908 likes. Come on, guys. You can do better than that. Apartheid was good under the Bantu's tribal culture, but all hell broke loose when white people wanted the same ideology. What a mission it is at Home Affairs. Waited 5 hours today to get assistance. At 1 o'clock, they're offline. Now you have to reapply. Unbelievable. Sorry to hear that. Sorry, Hanukkah. Antoinette, North Carolina gets way too many tornadoes. No, they don't. They get hurricanes, not tornadoes. Want to join the Army? Maybe I get to USA, but I'm scared. If you're over 34, it's too late. Thumbs up. Chris says, is it Ilza? Gibraltar? Why is it difficult to get corrupt politicians fired? Because they're like bureaucrats. They're hard to get rid of. They're like cockroaches. They just won't go away. You're exhausted. My drunk neighbor nearly broke my door down at 3 a.m. Good Lord, Verushka. I'm sorry to hear that. Stephen Orkia pressed the like button. Well, thank you. So we're getting close to 1,000 likes. And we know what's going on to follow all those job losses. We, the colonialists, are going to be blamed. Yeah, of course. You'll be blamed while you're thrown out of work. Lana Ritz, welcome to you. I've seen ice tornado. Never heard of such a thing. YouTube always has issues. We're still young and awake. Well, let's see what we can do for that. Wake you up. Let's see what we can do to wake you up. I still have my Boer Cola, which doesn't even exist anymore, my advert here. Where is it at? Come on. Come on, guys. I'm looking for this. It's taking a long time to get it. Apparently, people really like that new song I did. The one on Trump. It's pretty cool. There it is. There it is.
A land of gold sunsets and skies so blue. Mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans growing wild to valleys deep. A heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies, they weave and weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. That crowns may crumble, that thrones may falls may fall, for the power is the people above it all. We know. We know.
Stedman Hans. You know, it's funny, when I met Stedman Hans at Loftus, I was walking by the press room because he was injured, he wasn't playing. And I said, hey, and we took a picture. He goes, yeah, I'm Stedman Hans. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's pretty cool. That's why I put as the last photograph in that homage. What a lovely song. You're very welcome. Very welcome. But it isn't just South Africa that I have in my heart. Oh, you didn't like karaoke. Well, I love singing my own streams, Urban Household, but I can't sing. The only song I've ever done in karaoke, and I was actually pretty good at it, is Klaus Lager's 1001 Nacht. Oh, man. Yeah, that one I nailed. I nailed that at a German restaurant one night at a conference that the Americans had in Garmisch. It was awesome. Lost more animals in the snares in a month than total. Wow, that's crazy. So illegals stealing your animals out there. South African Municipal Water Reticulation Network technician wanting refugee status, dreaming of owning a Ford F-150. Well, you get to use one. I saw a Ford F-150 just down the road here at a used car dealership for, I think, $16,000. That's not too bad. Ronaldo's 1,000 Rand is still up there, man. That thing stayed up for a long time because he did 1,000 Rand. YouTube rewards that sort of thing. So, what's this? All right. Truth in the post on YouTube that says President Trump meeting against it. No, I haven't seen anything about that. There's no mention of it. Maybe true, but there's no mention of it. It's not in the press. Oh, boy. Rabbits Will Build the Desert. What is the name and artist of that song? The name of the song is South Africa, and it's my lyrics, and it was composed in artificial intelligence, Sean. Did it in South Africa when I got there, trying to inspire people. Before I started traveling around, I did that when I was in Gordons Bay. Yep, did it on Suno. Got a bunch of songs, yep. Got a bunch of them. In fact, let me go to Suno real quick and see if any of these, because somebody was asking about some songs that I have. Okay, hang on a second here. Get rid of that. Don't need that. Suno. Let's go. I got a growing collection of stuff in Suno. What's going on here? There we go. Suno. Okay, get rid of this. Okay. My library. Okay, let's see. What have I got in my library in Suno? Ramaphosa's Gambit, New Horizons, the Cape Crusaders album, Denied and Grounded, Long Way Home, Meet and Greet Vibes. That was pretty cool. Yeah, Save South Africa. When did I do that? It doesn't put a date there. End of the Road, Tower of Tariffs. Yeah, I did Tariff song. Meet and Greet Vibes. This one was, I think one of these was pretty good. Let me see.
Colonel Wyatt's got a plan so sweet. A meet and greet down Strand's wide street. South African sun kissed the air so bright. We shared our stories through the night. Dozens gathered hearts in sync. With every smile the spirits linked. A room of faces worlds apart, bound by camaraderie heart to heart. Cheers in the air, laughter grows. Friendships high, ebbs and flows. Strand lit up like golden beams. A night that turns into sweet dreams. The evening hung with fire and glee. Connections blooming wild and free. Words were sparks igniting light underneath the southern sky tonight. Oh, the beauty, unforgettable glow of strangers and friends we didn't know, tying threads that'll last and weave, moments shared with hearts on sleeves. Cheers in the air, laughter glows, friendships tight, it ebbs and flows. Strand lit up like golden beams, a night that turns into sweet dreams.
So that was the song I composed after the meet and greet at Strand, where I was so humbled. 150 people. It was incredible. I came downstairs with Sean and Ilsa, and there were like 30 people on the street. They wanted me to sign flags and shirts, and everybody wanted a selfie. Then finally Garrett came downstairs and said, "Hey, the Oaks are waiting." I'm like, "Okay, guys, got to go upstairs." After making people wait about 15 minutes, 120 people at the Kapstadt Brauhaus in Strand. It's crazy. It's crazy. Patches, the 8,000 story is bull because Senator or Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced apparently in the Senate session that last week it was already 70,000 heads of household that had applied to the program. So I don't know where they get that from. Where can you access these songs? It is legal, Sean. It is legal if I make them available. Do you guys like that one, the Strand song? I'll do that. Meet and greet vibes. Okay, so let me publish that. Okay. I have to put something on here in order to publish it. Okay. Okay, publish it. So now you can get to it. Let me get you a link if you want to download that song. Okay, so save South Africa meet and greet. Share. Copy link. Okay, if you want that, paste. There you go. If you want that song, that's the Strand. But that was just for the Strand meet and greet. I was just so humbled by all those people. And I felt inspired, and I went back and came up with those lyrics that night. It's pretty cool. I was really happy with that. That was, and I did the Save South Africa the same night. Hey, Erica, thank you. Please explain if we are on work in other countries than South Africa. Are you recipients? Recipients of what, Wayne? I don't understand your question. I think your question is, can you apply for refugee status if you're living in another country? Not if you're permanently settled there, but if you're on a temporary work visa, you can. Sonia, how's it going? Friends, Murray says they should make Save South Africa song. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Hey, Eiserfontein, Franz. Yeah, my famous meet and greet in Eiserfontein where nobody showed up except Jaco. Yeah, Jock showed up later on. So Miss V, 100 Rand super chat. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for that. Very kind of you. Leona DeCock says, thanks so much for carrying us. Madeline says, we miss you. Well, I miss being there. Cool beans. All right. May says, thank you for your passion. Don't shoot the messenger. I saw that schools in China have surrounded closed. Yeah, no, Amanda. No one's shooting the messenger. I've covered that. I talked about it yesterday and over the weekend. It's the BN161 variant or something like that. Yeah, and the Chinese have tried to cover it up again, but it got out on the Chinese version of Twitter, and then it was actually someone got onto Twitter through a VPN, so we know about it. But the Chinese are covering it up once again. Armand says, amazing heart. Thank you very much. I thought you might want to hear the statistical and legal impact of some of the racist crazy laws. Thank you, Maggie. Rebecca says, heartbreaking when I knew you left South Africa. You're part of our lives. Well, thank you, Rebecca. That's very kind of you. But I mean, I can't be there all the time. I'm an American. I got to be here. If we could fix South Africa, it might be a different story. If we could fix it and end the racism, end the violence, end the targeted attacks against people, it'd be a different story. It'd be heaven on earth. Such a beautiful country with such amazing people. Yeah, Strand is awesome. I had the honor of living in Strand for almost 6 months, but circumstances caused me to move back to... Oh, well, Eleanor, that sucks going back to Gauteng after being in Strand. It's lovely. Steven says, you're a super guy. Thank you very much. You still can't put your tents in my yard. I'm sorry. You can say nice things about me, but I'm not putting up your tents. If I missed the meet and greet at Emerald Casino, it was close, but hopefully next round. Yeah, Conrad. Yeah, the Vanderbilt Park one. That was a pretty good one. That was wild. We started outside. We went inside. It was really wild. I was incredibly patient that night because I had people ask me a question that someone asked 5 minutes prior. They were sitting right next to the person, and they asked the exact same question 5 minutes later. I'm like, what? I had to be very patient that night. That was insane. With all due respect, it's a good thing to get emotional. Sometimes it means you care. That kind of heart is what makes strong leaders. Yeah, well, thank you, Relaxing Positive Energy. I agree. You see, it's okay to be emotional in moments like this. It's you need to be like the Rock of Gibraltar, under stress and when the conditions are rough, which is what I do. Okay. When you're not, you please camp in my neighbor's yard. I don't like him. I'll give you a map to his yard. I'll tell you the best spots to go so you don't get wet. He's got trees. I don't like my neighbor. You can hang out there. Thank you, Gavin Cluley. Shane, you have no idea how much you've helped us with your insight. You're an escape from a long nights ahead. Thank you very much for that, Shan. I appreciate that. Okay, Ilsa Gibraltar. Pin drop. Camping time. I don't know how to drop pins. I never understood how to do that. I can't do pins. By the way, I got so many stinking freaking WhatsApp messages this morning that my phone died. My phone completely died. The battery was completely drained before this broadcast. Now it's at 100%. I had to charge it. I turned on just before the broadcast started because it was dead. So when is the bring your bride to your neighbor's law? So at this point, I didn't even know about your existence when you were in South Africa. Would have made an effort to attend the meet and greet in Strand. Huns by, not that far from Strand. Well, thank you, Ingrid. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. It was my 5th trip to South Africa in the last 2.5 years. Yep. Biggest thing about change is nobody likes it. But that's the power of shadow banning on social media. They can hide you. You've given us peace of mind in knowing we're not alone. Okay, well, that's cool. Bell B, thank you, Colonel Chris. You're such a beautiful, humble man. Well, thank you for that. Not everybody agrees. Some people think I'm full of myself, and they call me a white supremacist and a racist. And they say that I'm a grifter. They say all kinds of things about me. Of course, none of that's true. Yeah, the songs are awesome. Also missed you at the Boundary Bio meet and greet. Sorry about that, Eleanor. Are you related to Stefan Ungerer, the scrum half for the Stormers? New Year's party at my house. No parties. I don't do New Year's. Too many drunks on the road. David Delport says, good evening, Colonel and members. Did you manage to see the video explaining the registering and captioning of a crime stats? You mean my video? Thank you for the super chat, 70 Rand. Will you have a meet and greet near Richards Bay? Well, the closest I've gotten to Richards Bay is Belito. That was a bit of a and I barely made it to Belito. I had a leaky tire from my car. It was crazy. Dylan, how you doing there? Good to see you there. He's an OG. Chris Ayler's another OG. Even if I don't make it, it was great to meet you. Oh, come on, Chris. Hang in there. Have to run away now. Have to prepare for a car guard job for tomorrow. All right, folks. We should wrap it up here. All the car guards out there, I wish you a lovely day. Oh my goodness. Patenting FEMA shacks. Your 5th trip? Yeah. Extremely expat family Joubert. Wow, your 5th trip. I never heard about it. So, yeah, no. It's 5 times, folks. 5 times. 5 trips. Each of them at least a month in duration. Yeah. Let me look at my folders here. Let's see. So I've got, let's see, if I got folders for all these trips. Okay, so August 2022 is the first one. Yep. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So August, September 2022 was the first one. Then the next one was February 2023 in March. And then the next one was July and August of 2023. And then May to June of 2024. But because I ran for office last year and I had to pay a bunch of taxes, I didn't have extra cash. So it was a year between visits. So I did 4 visits in pretty quick order there. In basically, about 17 months, 18 months, and then this one here. So in 2.5 years, I've done 5 trips. Yep. So August, September 2022, which is the initial one. And by the way, for those who think that's like my first trip to South Africa, no, folks, not my first trip to South Africa. Not my first trip to South Africa. Yep. Been going there for a long, long time. Yep, a long, long time. Anyway, so, yep, long time. Anyway, yeah, the Strand song's pretty cool, so you guys can download if you want, okay? Car guard business. Yeah, expat families, Joubert. I've been going to South Africa since almost 30 years, and I've also been studying and reading about South Africa since about 1980, so, yep. And getting paid to do it. That's what's funny. When I talked to Canthan earlier, see people left because I said I was closing. They gave up. Those of you who hung around, so you get some bonus time here. I talked to Canthan earlier. It's kind of funny because when people say, who's this white YouTuber, lecturing black South Africans, I'm not lecturing anybody, and I'm not just a YouTuber. And then when they talk about, Trump is misinformed, and I keep making the point that we have 19 national intelligence agencies informing the president. I know. I wrote presidential daily briefs for President Bush on Africa, on Zimbabwe, on South Africa. I wrote intelligence reports about what was going on in South Africa for the President of the United States, which went before the President was briefed. And I had to hang around to find out what his questions were or what his comments were. Cheney almost had a heart attack every time I did one of those about Zimbabwe. He lost his mind. He hated Mugabe. Oh my goodness, Dick Cheney. He nearly had a heart attack. Anyway, so yeah, to listen to these idiots in South African media and in politics saying, Trump is misinformed. He's not misinformed. He's not misinformed. He knows exactly what's going on in South Africa. Yeah, don't forget your car guard uniforms. Yeah, anyway, sorry for getting a little choked up there, folks. But the Strand meet and greet set the tone for the other 17 meet and greets that followed after that. I mean, it was unbelievable. Even Hermanus, short notice, we had 25 people at Hermanus for an afternoon thing when people have to work. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And a lot of those people come meet and greets, they never chat here, but they watch the video. So thank you for that. There's 973 people still here right now, and I know most of these people aren't chatting, and that's fine. Great. That's no problem with that, folks. We appreciate it. But the folks who chat, thank you, because it gives us something to focus on during the thing. So USA car guard called a valet. Yeah. Well, no, valets are people who move your cars. They don't guard your cars. There's a difference. Synchronicities. What do you think about synchronicities? You're going to have to explain more to me on that, Phoenix. What you mean? Sue Walsh, you're welcome. And now Rothman, hey, I haven't seen you there for a while. Doing good work can be dangerous. Yeah, because you threaten entrenched interests. That's the problem. How many were in Longabon? Actually have I have a let me see. I can tell you the numbers because I think I put them all together here. It's on my PC. I don't know if I actually have it here. Let me look and see. Let me look for meet and greet. Okay. Oh, that's 2022. That's all the ones we did. No, it's not here. It's on my. It's not here. It's on my. It's on my laptop. But 2022, this was planned before I got there. So August 21st, we were at the Met Court in Kempton Park. 22nd, we were at Shalimar Park Hall in Zeerust. The 25th was in Pretoria. The 26th was the Black Olive in Howick. The 27th was Stella Marais, the apartment complex where Eric used to live in Amanzimtoti. The 30th of August 2022 was at the Bree and Still in Bloemfontein. And then the 31st of August 2022 was the Emerald Resort and Casino in Vanderbilt Park. The 4th of September 2022 is Misty Waves Boutique in Hermanus. The 5th of September was in Parle. The 6th was Santos Express in Mossel Bay. September 2022. The 7th of September 2022 was in Tapas in Port Elizabeth. The 10th was in Woodbridge Island at Bossa, Milnerton. The 13th of September was in Stellenbosch, but it wound up not being in Stellenbosch. We didn't do it in Stellenbosch, so that was 2022. But it's on my laptop. I'll have to get it, but I can't remember the number that were there, but it was a lot. Strant was great, and the live you made after that was very emotional for us. Yeah, Francois, you drove all the way down from up there on the West Coast. That's just, you guys are amazing. Sean Fulshank is here. The Strant meet and greet was indeed epic. It was unbelievable. Strant lit up like golden beams indeed. Chris looking too relaxed now, doing 20-hour days. You need to get back to 25-hour work days. Ross Saunders. You're right. I'm taking it too easy. Good night, Rolene. Okay. Car guard if you knew Southern Africa. Yeah. Well, but that's common in a lot of Southern Africa. Barcode was eventually decrypted by a couple of hackers. Key is in the public domain, but it took many years. Any update interviews coming? Yes, Friday, Jack Miller from the Cape Exit Party will be on the program after being booted out of the council for saying economic migrants. Perfectly legitimate phrase. By the DA, who compromised their party once again. Went to Mossel Bay office for certificate 2 hours. Out. Wow. Another question. It's me, my wifey daughter of 2 years. My mother-in-law. We're a family of 4. She's old and needs us. We need her. Jacques Mayer, unless she's demented or has Alzheimer's or physically incapable and you're her caregiver legally, you're her guardian, she's not part of your family. She is your mother. Mother-in-law. So she'll have to apply. But what you do, if you haven't done already, is do your statement of interest. Include her on the list of people who she is. They'll see that, but she also needs to apply. All right? And then they'll try to keep you together. Okay? That's how it works. CB missed all the meet and greets. But we had a private meet and greet, did we not, CB? We had a private meet and greet. And I did that for a few folks. I did it in Pearl for a family as well, but we did it for CB. CB was a little under the weather. We missed out. We missed out on the rugby, CB. Didn't see it at Loftus. Lend Chris your good ear. Most astute and accurate information analysis you'll find. However, if you want things sugarcoated, it's not going to happen. Sorry, Hanukkah gave 35 Rand. I almost missed that. Thank you for that. Strand was epic, Sandra. It was epic. Okay. From your videos, you know more about South Africa than most of us put together. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, actually tattooed Stedman Hans's dad on the day he played for the Spring. Are you serious? Wow. Manandi Suzlua. That's an interesting surname. A Trump. Oh, I wish I could get Trump on here. Yeah. Okay. We ended up watching the game together at the pub. That's wild. Hank Odger says, I've been here long before the Schussbeer stream, but I don't chat. No, Hank, I know that. I just don't see you chat very much. Yep, Hank is an OG. That's right. I'll see you tomorrow, Internet. M. Eimer was just as... Yeah, no, M. Eimer was pretty cool. That was the last one, too. Sean, isn't that pretty cool? The first one was at the Kopstadt Brauhaus in Strand, and the last one was in Gordons Bay at M. Eimer, which was pretty cool. That one went on for a long time. It wasn't funny. I tried to make sure that the girl serving us, our server, was being taken care of by the M. Eimer, only to find out the guy I was talking to was her boss. He owned the place. How cool was that? That was so funny. How long do you think it will take us to contact people that 03? I don't know, Strauss. I have no idea. I couldn't possibly guess that. I get to as quick as I can imagine. Maddie needs some sleep as a car guard. Okay, you're welcome, Golda. Okay. Open a Coke sister. Okay. More interviews with Canthan. Well, it's a conversation. It's Petra. You've been here for a long time, Petra. That's the iconic segment. But Canthan is very busy, so I just happened to ask if he's available this week, and he said yes. So I'll try to do it. Oh, you saw me skiing on TikTok? I didn't make a TikTok. Did I make a TikTok on skiing? People are stealing my content and putting it all over TikTok. It's pretty wild. A lot of people I ran into in South Africa knew me from TikTok, and I haven't put a video in TikTok in like 5 months. It's because it's an evil platform. It never rewards me. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Okay? Thanks. An hour and 44 minutes. You guys take care. Is Ronaldo live? I don't know. Give him a little boost in the last couple minutes there. State Department's on. Yeah, Ronaldo's live with Samba Sambit. Let's send you over there. So let me do that real quick. Content. Live. Redirect. I gotta get to customization first. Come on, where's it at? Edit. It's taking a little while to get here. Customization. We gotta go to redirect. Okay. YouTube is very stubborn here. Okay, he's live. Let's send you over there. Oh, Ben Bodenhorst, thank you for that super chat. That rocks. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you so much. And by the way, just an update. We are at 99,696. We're 304 subscribers from 100,000. Not going to make it tonight, I don't think. We still got 12 hours to make it. But thank you, Ben, for the 350 Rand super chat. It's pretty awesome. Thank you. Good night from Somerset West. My favorite place after Pretoria. All right, cool beans. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Catch you later. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in today. I've got to finish this video. Watch for the video. It'll be posted very soon about the American congressman who's an idiot, and you'll see that coming up shortly. God bless. Be safe out there.